Clayton, you have a fair share of familiarity with the Nationals lineup. In your opinion, what's the best approach against these guys tomorrow?
It's a great team. Yeah, they 1 through 8, they really swing the bats well. Obviously they got Rendon and Soto in the middle of the lineup that had great seasons and are great players all the way around. But really up and down the lineup, they got a ton of guys that swing the bat well. And that's what you see in the postseason. You see great lineups, and there's not one way to get a guy out. You just have to continue to make pitches all the way through.
Clayton, as far as this year is concerned, what's the big difference between your club this year as opposed to last?
I have no idea. I don't really compare teams. I don't really do that. This team's a special group. We got a lot of great players, had a great regular season, and we're looking forward to starting the postseason.
Next question, Clayton. JP, go on.
I think you game 2, Dave told us there's a possibility you could pitch in relief in Game 5 if needed. Obviously, you did that 3 years ago, Game 5, Nationals Park. Did that experience sort of teach you something about the value of and what needs to happen for you to be able to do that and enter in that situation?
Well, I hope it's not that situation, because that was 1, 4, and 5. So I don't envision that happening. But you know how you feel, coming out of the starts. And this season, I felt great the whole year after those first couple weeks. So I don't think I'll have any problem bouncing back. I'm not really focused on that right now, though. Focus on tomorrow, obviously. But if there is a Game 5 and I'm asked to be in the pen, I'll be ready for that for sure.
Next question. Adam in the back.
Clayton, as the years go by and these postseason appearances pile up, does it get easier to tame whatever you need to before the game, the heartbeat and things like that, getting ready for these games?
I'll let you know. I mean, I think it's the same every year. I think that extra adrenaline and the atmosphere is I mean, you have to be able to calm it. And it's usually for me after the first pitch or two or the first out, you get going. It feels like a regular game after that. But it's almost these 3 days in between, leading up to the first game, and you just got a lot of time to think about it now with extra wild card games. So that's kind of the worst part, just kind of sitting around waiting, and then once the game gets going, you're good to go.
Back to Lana on the left.
You have 4 rookies that made the NLDS roster, but they seem to have kind of a more mature heartbeat and mental capacity. Do you have any words of wisdom for them as they approach their first division series at this level?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the reason they made our roster and had such success during the regular season is that they don't act like rookies, they don't play the game like rookies, and we're going to need them in the postseason. And we don't expect their performance to be any different. And there's really nothing to say. They'll experience it, they'll get it out of their way in the first inning, or if any of them are coming off the bench in relief, that first appearance, and they'll be great though. And that's the reason that we have such confidence in them, is that they did their heartbeat, like you said. They don't act like rookies, and that's why they're there.
Back, Dylan.
Are your kids aware? Are they old enough to be aware of what's going on? And if so, how has that kind of affected this experience for you?
I don't know. They get new postseason gear, so they get fired up about that. But Charlie's a little bit mad. His access is a little limited right now, with all the stuff going on. But honestly, I don't know. I don't think so. I think when we get to celebrate after a series win, they weren't in Baltimore and got to clinch the division, but I think they realize that there's like a party after and things like that. But honestly, I don't think so yet. Not yet.
All right, get married.
I know you said you don't look back much, but what kind of edge does this give you that you're going into unfinished business again, trying to win the World Series?
We don't need any extra added motivation or incentive to win the World Series. Every team at the beginning of spring training says they want to win a World Series, but nowadays there's only 10 or 12 teams that's even a possibility for, and ours is no different. And then when you go into it and you've lost the last 2, it's not like that makes it even more. There's just the pressure to win the World Series. That's what the Dodgers means. We expect to win the World Series every single year, regardless of what's happened in years past, and this season's no different with that.
Tim in the back on the right.
Clayton, a long time ago, you started talking about being in the arena and what that means to you. I'm curious today how the experience of being in the arena has gradually perhaps changed for you.
Yeah, I love that quote.
And then also...
Oh, sorry, there's more.
Yeah, there's second part of this. Get deeper.
Oh, gosh.
And how your experience in that arena has changed as well. So your view of it and your experience in it.
That's so deep, Tim. I think the biggest thing I can say is that every year that you make the postseason, you realize that it's one less year in your career, one less year that you have a chance to win. So you become more grateful and more appreciative every single time you get a chance to win a World Series. I think that becomes more apparent because who knows how long I'm going to get to play this game, and who knows how long I get to play here, but it's a special thing to get to go to the postseason 7 years in a row and 9 years out of however many years I've played, and realize that you don't get this opportunity very often to try to win 11 games. So grateful, but also maybe, with each passing year, maybe a little bit more sense of urgency for sure.
Can I ask a quick follow-up? Sure. You almost seem to fight that sense of being in the arena at times, like it was almost like a defense thing for you. Maybe I'm reading into it, but
I'm sure, yeah.
you would sort of, sort of wrap yourself in that sense of, hey, I'm in here fighting.
Yeah.
Are you more accepting of it, perhaps? No? Maybe more fun, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm that deep, but I think it's just it's a special thing to get to compete, and it's a special thing to get to be on this team and get to do it a lot. And looking forward to tomorrow. And it's a great feeling when you win in the postseason. So I'm hoping for that.
Staying back on Clayton, just curious, what have you learned about Walker in the last 2 years that makes him capable and thriving in this kind of setting?
He grows on you. Yeah, I mean, he's, I think over time he kind of wears you down. But no, I mean, Walker's great. I love being around him. His understanding of pitching is really actually pretty cool. I mean, I think in the new age of spin rate analytics, all that stuff, he knows way more than I do, and to get to hear him talk about it and maybe try to apply some of it is good. And I think we can kind of rub off each other because a little bit more traditional, old school, I guess you could say, and to get to kind of bounce ideas off each other and things like that's fun. And then his competitiveness, his ability to compete is really fun to watch, and obviously his stuff speaks for itself. So I enjoy having him around, and you never know what he's going to say, so it's great. It's fun.